fair use on that ass. Another video from Francisco Perez.
Italy is under a state of emergency as more than a dozen large wire.
Now this is just to show you the carnage going on in the world in just in the past 24 hours.
Wildfires threaten towns in the centre and south of the country. A heat wave and high winds are fueling the flames, which have already scorched some 50,000 hectares of land.
Watch this shit. Watch this van.
Winter storms are sweeping across the country this weekend. Waves of snow and rain are hitting the west. And the south, a deadly tornado tore through Mississippi.
When the relentless storm finally cleared, it revealed the destruction from a powerful tornado that struck Hattiesburg, Mississippi in the early morning hours. At least 4 people died, 20 more were injured. Jimmy Harrell and his wife Rose could hear the ominous sound.
We got louder and louder the closer it got. We got louder and louder.
And we got in the bathtub and covered up.
Rescue crews searched for victims trapped in collapsed buildings and homes, and more severe weather is expected to hit Mississippi tonight. They're also bracing for another round of storms in the west. Flash floods in Arizona. It's part of the same storm system that dumped snow in the Sierra and drenched lower elevations in California. Overwhelming a levee near Hollister, where water flooded farms and homes for the second time in a week. In Santa Barbara, floodwaters swept cabins and vehicles down a coastal canyon, and 20 campers were rescued.
We just watched it go like this and then flow right into where our picnic tables, the fire pits.
One of the biggest concerns now is the burn areas. In July, a massive wildfire north of LA consumed 18 homes and more than 40,000 acres. Those hillsides can no longer absorb water, sending mud and debris onto roads. Homeowner Virginia Brown.
I have never seen anything like what came down that canyon.
After what happened here Friday, Jeff Haberstad is bracing for more.
And it's supposed to be about 50 to 100% more than we got yesterday.
That caused this mess?
That caused this mess.
Workers have already cleared out this creek here to make way for the water they know is coming. Up to 4 inches of rain is expected tomorrow. And DeMarco, the National Weather Service, says it could be the biggest storm to hit Southern California.
Unusually bad weather in Southern California on Friday prevented Barack Obama and family from landing at Palm Springs International Airport. Instead, the Obamas touched down about 50 miles west at March Air Reserve Base in Riverside. It was early Friday afternoon after Donald Trump's inauguration that the Obamas boarded the plane in Washington, D.C. However, due to poor weather, the plane spent more than 30 minutes in a holding pattern before it decided to land elsewhere.
Desperate times. It's small relief from the drought. But for Somaratna Fernando, he has no other choice. He can't drink the water in his home. It's too salty. Water levels in rivers have fallen so low that seawater is flowing inland and contaminating supplies here in the Kalathura district, south of the capital, Colombo. When supplies do arrive, people try to collect as much as possible. The lack of rain last year...
Now, I want you guys to see something. Okay, this is called primary water. Okay? And primary water is an easy concept, okay? Primary water is why we don't have a water shortage. Water is renewable. Okay? So this is primary water, and the reason why they don't teach you about primary water is because then you can have water shortages and devastations, and they can charge you for water. Here, let me show you. Yeah, obviously you don't want me to get this out, so fair use that ass. Fair use, fair use. And all you can look this up on your own. You don't have to believe me.
This is Deborah Taveras with StopTheCrime.net and Paul Power, the founder of the Primary Water Institute.
So this looks kind of long. So
a dark line, and it is entitled Natural Primary Water Spring.
So pretty much the basic thing is the water goes back into the Earth's crust, and there's an area within this, like a chamber, where it regenerates the water and sends it back up. Sends it back up through water springs, aquifers, and all of these different sources. And so the water never runs out. It just keeps recycling and coming right back to us. So they don't want you to know this, so that there can be situations like this in the world.
Is badly affecting water supplies. Tens of thousands of households have no water to drink and rely on Bowser.
Just to point it out, in Hawaii we have endless amounts of water. Always rains every single day in the mountain. The mountains is so high. Hawaii is home to the tallest mountain in the world. If you count from the bottom, see, Hawaii sits on a sinking plate, a tectonic plate, a continent. So if you start from the bottom of the mountain, then Hawaii has the tallest mountain in the world, because half of the mountain is under the ocean still yet, because it has sunk. So anyways, we had so much water, and since I was a kid, we had rivers everywhere, fresh water everywhere. I mean, I lived in the ghetto, the housing, the projects, and the water was like you was drinking from the fountain of youth. It was so amazing and so tasty. And now everything tastes like crap. They poison all the waters. All the rivers are dried up. I hear that they take 85% of the water source for corporate use for profit. Yet the water belongs to the people. This is what they're doing everywhere. I go up to the reservoirs, the Nuuanu Reservoir, and there's no water in the reservoir. And it's raining every day. There's no water in the reservoir.
It's like this one. With rains not expected for another 2 to 3 months, the government is warning of worsening shortages. Reservoirs are running low. Some are now down to a fifth of their capacity. Weather forecasters say there could be worse to come.
This is one of the worst droughts since 1970s.
The farming community says it doesn't know how it will cope with no water, destroyed crops, and mounting debts.
In Birmingham, breathing a little easier tonight after a complete stranger answers their prayers.
Last night we told you they were struggling to pay for a loved one's funeral. Hannah Ward caught up with them today to hear about